Chapter 15, Johnson Block Building, 796 Higuera Street. In 1860, the first mayor of San Luis Obispo, Charles H. Johnson, purchased the entire block between Higuera and Monterey Streets for $5. That's right, he bought prime California real estate for the price of a sandwich. An immense olive tree planted by the Mission Fathers once stood here, offering shade to passers-by. Later, that tree inspired the name for the Olive Branch Saloon that was built right beside it during the 1880s. Like many buildings of the time, the saloon fell victim to the ravages of fire and burned down in 1899. The building you see now was constructed soon thereafter and was named for Mr. Johnson. The Johnson Block Building was sometimes known as La Paloma, meaning the dove, owing to the terracotta doves near the upstairs windows. A postcard from the turn of the last century shows Higuera Street as it looked more than 100 years ago, with the Johnson Building on the right and the County Bank on the left. A more modern shot from the Tribune shows how it looked during the 1980s. Charles Johnson was a native of Maryland who left home to travel the world by ship. He crossed the Pacific to China and eventually traveled to South America, the Hawaiian Islands, and California. Since he knew the U.S. was eager to obtain California, Johnson planned to buy land in San Francisco, return to Maryland to gather his things, then come back to settle there and open a general store. But with the arrival of the gold rush came opportunities too tempting to miss, so he opened the store right away. The San Francisco store imported goods from Peru, Mexico, Chile, and Hawaii, and his warehouses soon filled up. But the Great Fire on May 4, 1850 wiped out over $4 million of inventory, a huge fortune in those days. Johnson rebuilt his fortune only to lose it twice more to fires. Unable to recover the third time, Johnson moved first to Monterey and later to San Luis Obispo as an inspector of customs for Port San Luis Obispo. He arrived in 1852, and by 1860 he had joined the city legislature, where he helped to pass ordinances on maintaining order, naming streets, keeping them clean and in good condition, and licensing businesses. Fire and failure notwithstanding, Charles Johnson survived to become a key figure in San Luis Obispo history. Continue to walk south on Higuera Street for a short half block where we'll stop to see the building named for the Maino family.